Hi guys, welcome to Clockwork Noodles, back on it again with more amazing good episodes of the week. It's been a good week for episodes. If you have just found me, hello, welcome to the Noodle Bowl. I am Clockwork Noodles. Very shortly, I'm going to have my end of season review going your way, top 3 anime of this season, and what am I watching and breaking down on YouTube next season. The next season is so stacked, guys. There's too much choice. We have been starved this season, and next season it's all coming at once. It's a giant flood. So make sure you guys are subscribed because that should be with you in 2 weeks, 1.5 weeks time, roughly. I need to pick a day and actually record that and record in chunks because it takes forever to record those videos. There is a Discord channel too if you want to have notifications to your phone whenever videos go up, that video and more. So let's get back to it. Episode 9 of the case study of Vanitas. Roland's dreams have finally come true. It's Christmas. He is in La La Land at the beginning of the episode and it's hilariously funny. The celebrity is in his trap. I didn't think I'd like the character, but he really grew on me this week. Roland finally getting his big celebrity crush moment allows Noe to actually get the recovery time he needs, but it is fanboying to 9,000. I don't think I've ever met a fan like this, and I used to have fans from modelling and other stuff. Never like this. However, Vanitas doesn't share that enthusiasm. To be honest, Vanitas turns out to be a big loser this week because he ends up having 2 people who are quite similar joining forces, and he ends up being almost kicked in the face as well. But the enthusiasm not there with Vanitas, as Roland actually ends up scaring him. He does say he creeps me out. But we do get a lot of information giving, a lot of lore coming our way, a lot of world building, a lot of power systems. So this time as well, we get to learn that the church looks down on other people. So Vanitas doesn't like this. This is an aspect he doesn't like. This even means, which I guessed correctly, which he believed that everybody was equal, or he just hated the fact that people thought they were better than each other. And we do see a bit later on, everybody is a monster, as he says. Everybody is equal, you're all the same, but you're all monsters. Vanitas also says that he believes in free will. It is a very powerful speech. This speech actually allows us to get a slight insight into the character of Vanitas. We don't really know too much about Vanitas up until this point. It's been quite a mystery, but we do get a lot of good information gleaned this week. Vanitas standing up for his beliefs, his truths. Really, really great moment. Going on to the fact that Roland is moved by this speech to tears. Obviously, Roland believes that he's just trying to, shy away from God's love and blah, blah, blah. It's the power of love this week as well. A lot of the power of love. Roland wants to save Vanitas. He does say that he wants to save him, bring him to the light. Him being moved by this speech and then crying. I think that might have been real tears. Now, Roland unsheaths his weapon. I mean, Durandal, dude, what were you thinking about? Although there's quite a bit of that going on this week as well. Lots of subtle innuendos being slipped into the episode. This weapon is beastly. I love the fact that it also splits into 2 and it turns into a chain. Like that. It's a really nice touch to have it actually morph. The church is on drugs to enhance their performance. Yes, this is a church using steroids. I never thought I'd say those words in the same sentence before. But it does add to the steampunk feel. This is an anime which has got a bit of a steampunk vibe to it. We've got airships, we've got a lot of this going on. The fact that Roland's weapon uses electricity too adds to this because it's a new invention. This is clearly a time period where electricity has only just begun to be a thing, or it's just on that brink of being born. So him having it on his weapon, an invention, adding to that steampunk vibe, really, really like it. It's all about working together this week, which is fantastic, which we end up seeing Vanitas and Noe giving Roland the slip. And Vanitas, his celebrity status, it's a curse to him. The poor guy is literally dying on the inside. But the moment where we see Noe actually laughing and having a final kind of giggle, this is where we finally get to release some of the tension. Up until this point, I feel like the episode's been really tense. Even last week as well, we've had quite a big atmosphere starting to grow between the two. We've had this tenseness in the air. This is a moment where we get to see it released. It's quite nice. And when it comes to Roland, I feel like Roland is that one fan that just is OTT. Do you think Roland would buy Vanitas bathwater? I feel like he would. If Vanitas was suddenly selling bathwater, Roland's going to buy the whole crate. Now let's go and do lore. I like lore. Lore is great, and this anime is starting to drop some lore bombs on us. We're talking about world formula. So this is perhaps a power system. He does say that vampires can edit or alter or interact with the world formula, he does ask Noe, what could you do if you were really trying? And he does say, I could perhaps stand on the ceiling, which vampires can do in most of the folklore and stories that they appear in. They can stand on the ceiling and they do the whole walking down a wall thing. It's quite cool. But it's nice because we start to get a look at the world's power systems, which I really like this kind of thing. It's depth, it's making the nerd in me go, ooh, this is how this works. You've clearly thought your world through. There's a lot of deeper thinking going on, how things actually work. Now, Vanitas is looking for Moreau. Resident Evil 8 is on the line, guys. Pick up, please. They want to have Moreau back. Although this Moreau doesn't look as creepy as Resident Evil 8's Moreau. He's definitely a lot less gruesome. We are told about the number 128. This is quite scary because it means there's at least 128 or more test subjects. So we're going into the world of test subjects, and wasn't Moreau technically doing that in Resident Evil 8? He was putting in morphs in test subjects, and obviously they weren't doing so well. Caduceus, there we go. I vaguely remember the plot on that one. Vanitas, the test subject of Moreau's. This is definitely the episode where all of the lore, all of the backstory, lots of different information is coming swirling around, and we're getting a lot of stuff to take in. So Vanitas was a test subject before the Blue Moon. In that sense, did the Blue Moon actually end up saving him and stopped him being a test subject? Unless he's about to turn around and say he likes it because of the twist ending. Now, I don't know if Roland is terrifying or he's feigning his stupidity. And if he is feigning his stupidity, that does make him very terrifying because he didn't report the truth for a reason. He definitely knew he was supposed to report it. I don't think it was just a blunder on his part. I think there's a bit of calculation with Roland, and I think he's more terrifying than he's letting on. Vanitas last week simply knew the maze by heart. I even told you guys, it's a maze down there. Maybe the cataphiles know their way around, but it takes a long time, and you can't just pick it up. You can't just go down there and hope to know your way around that maze. Him being a test subject and actually being there before, this starts to shine light on why Vanitas knew his way around. I like the fact they've given us some information on why he was able to travel. And we also learn a bit more lore, because I love lore, that the book can also affect something called astamite, which is what runs the mechanics. I think that's also what runs the airships. Astamite is a stone or a element found in this world that I guess acts a bit like a battery or a core, and that's what gives things like the steamships the ability to run. So him having the book that allows it to shift its formula, I think is what it does. That is fascinating, and I'm really happy that this kind of lore exists. Let's go to talk about some composition. You guys know me, I love composition. The cracks in the wall, seeing the two in different cracks, the two are divided. This could be representing a few different things. One, the fact that they don't know enough about one another. So there is this massive gap in between them. There's this space between them, but it's full of darkness. It's just this crack we're seeing. We're almost looking in on them, like the audience too. We're looking in on these two characters. We're not getting the full picture, and you can't see the full picture either the wall or from behind the wall. Vanitas is also facing away from Noe. Noe is facing towards him because he wants to understand Vanitas. He's trying to figure him out. Vanitas, up until this point, has been shouldering things alone. He's been keeping things closed off. This is why he has his back to Noe. We then get a little bit of backstory. However, this backstory doesn't get rid of the cracks, and that's done on purpose. So the backstory we do get, and I was wondering if the gap would start to close up, or would we start to get the two drawing closer together? It doesn't. That Vanitas' parents were killed by vampires. This is something I figured would be the case. I just figured it would be the plot. And then that's when Vanitas then joined the church, and Moreau then took an interest in him, and that's the test subject. That was it. Now, the way that this is being told, obviously, this has been told very disjointedly. Noe even picks up on the fact that you're telling me like it's a third person kind of thing. So you're telling me like this is this. I'm running through it. There's no emotion. There's nothing there. He's just kind of reeling off the facts. This is what happened. It's almost like a CV. He's just going point 1, point 2, point 3. That's it. Done. Composition shifts a little bit, but we are still between cracks. But this time we are just focusing in on Vanitas. Space is still there because nothing has really changed. He's not getting closer. He's not really opening up that much. I think this is really clever storytelling, the really clever composition. Really, really like it. And I hope you guys, just even with a little bit of this is what this is doing, you can appreciate the scene a bit more. Noe can't even see Vanitas' face, but he ends up getting very, very angry simply because he knows that he's making it. And it's a face that apparently Vanitas was born with. I mean, some of us can't help have a resting bitch face, but apparently Noe definitely getting more and more angry that that's not the face that he wants to be seeing. It's quite a painful face that he pulls. But I am very, very happy that the anime punishes them for being so damn loud. Everything is going to echo, guys. This is the maze. Things echo. So the sin is removed. We're finally removing a sin because the anime sins it too, because they end up being surrounded once again. So we have enhanced humans, abducted vampires, a maze. We have really tough enemies. This is a horror game, isn't it? But I have to say, stop arguing, guys. You are being ridiculously loud because this continues. So they don't learn their lesson for the first time around and they end up still being really, really loud. But Vanitas does raise a point. If you do not like the way I am doing things, you do not have to work with me. This is a good point. He raises a very valid point, and you can kind of feel the stress and desperation with him because he's getting frustrated. Vanitas is getting frustrated with Noe. But then we get perhaps the most important line of the entire episode, our foreshadow. Working with naive fools like you will be the death of me someday. And of course, we know what we ended up learning in episode 1. Noe says that he's the one who will kill Vanitas by his own hand. Obviously, this could be taken in metaphysically. There's probably a lot more to that sentence that we initially got. But this is a nice bit of foreshadowing, reminding you, oh yeah, this is going to happen at some point. And also making it ironic, because Vanitas saying that makes it ironic. If that is going to be the case, that's what's going to happen. This sentence, everything at this point now pushes Noe to the point where he just goes too far. And this is scary, Noe. And that's when he says, yeah, let's take a hostage. And at that point, I was like, you're going to take Vanitas hostage. And yeah, I called it. I totally called it. Vanitas is the hostage because they don't want to harm Vanitas. Roland loves Vanitas. He wants Vanitas. He probably wants his bathwater. He believes that Vanitas is actually a slave to the vampires and he wants to save him from the vampires. Well, roll with it. Why don't we roll with his story? And Noe is onto something. Let's just roll with this. Unhinged Noe, absolutely hilarious, but absolutely terrifying. And the 180 at the end as well. I pissed myself, guys. I was not expecting Noe to suddenly go, "Hi, Roland, nice to meet you." Wasn't expecting that. He's giving Roland a dose of his fanboy medicine at this point. Now, Moreau turns out to be a dark past that the church was wanting to forget. So we have now got a united enemy. They both want to sort out Moreau. The church apparently cast him out. They were maybe unaware of his tests. Maybe they didn't like what he was doing. They cast him out. Maybe he's a blotch on the church's history. Well, we're going to find out next week. I think we'll get more information here. But we get the non-violent result unlocked. Roland wants to be friends, and he really does find absolutely everything fascinating, reminding me of another person who is also fascinated by everything. Oh, wait. Now there's two of them! They are both as hyper as one another, but as poor Vanitas, man, I feel so sorry for him, stuck in the middle going, great, this is it. Signed his death warrant there, and he's even like, I don't want you working with me. But, man, wow. Case study of Vanitas. You really did it, right? You really have made him test subject number 69. Godspeed, anime! You went there. Moreau, the evil genius, question mark. Vanitas is either faking this happy reunion or there's something else going on. So can't wait to see what happens next week. I am very, very excited to see where we're going. I'm also very happy that we're getting more and more lore. I love lore. Lore makes animes fantastic. Animes which actually do world building, and there's a level of depth to them. It's not just here's a story, that's it. This is someone has thought about the world that these characters live in, and I love it to pieces. So hopefully you guys also found this episode hilarious. Very, very interesting. Lots of new developments going on. I will see you guys next week, guys. I can't wait to see where Scary Moreau from Resident Evil 8 is going to take us. Hopefully not barfing everywhere. See you next week and have a good day. Bye-bye.